Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. So, for those of you here for the first time, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube. Subscribe to the blog as well, theclinicaltrialsguru.com. You don't want to miss out on the announcements. I do giveaways also. I literally give things away for free. So, I just made an announcement and I wanted to let you guys know who are watching this on YouTube. As well as those of you who are going to be watching on Snapchat, which, by the way, here's going to be a shameless plug right now. Follow me there, Dan Sfera. So, for everyone watching on Snapchat and on YouTube, I'm going to be at Intralinks booth 806 at Scope. So make sure you stop by on Tuesday and on Wednesday to get your free professional headshots. We're going to have a professional photographer and a professional makeup artist to get you your free professional headshots. I'm in desperate need of one, so I'll be there myself. Hope to see you guys all there. Bye-bye. So also, if you're not following me on Snapchat, make sure you do that too, alright? Dan Sfera. So as you heard on Snapchat, we're going to have a booth with Intralinks. It's booth number 806. I'm going to be at Scope. I want to meet every single person who comes across my way at the booth. I'm going to have a videographer with me as well, in addition to the professional makeup artist that's going to be there and the professional photographer. I'm going to have a videographer, so if you want me to interview you and maybe be on the show, we can do that. We can make arrangements, okay? So email me beforehand or just stop by, booth 806. Meet us there. I'm at the Intralinks booth. With that being said, let's get into today's question, right? It comes from somebody who is a research coordinator. They've been a research coordinator for 8 years. Then for the past 2 years, they've been a research clinic site director. So 10 years total, seems like plus or minus 1 or 2 years. For about 10 years, this person has been running research clinic studies either as a study coordinator or as a site director. So they know what they're doing, okay? That's about the same amount of time I've been in the industry as well. So now this person wants to open up their own research site, which, again, I applaud you for doing that. It's not for everybody, okay? But I believe there is no greater reward than you have to work for yourself, all right? I also believe that you'll never work harder than you will for yourself. So there's two sides to that coin, right? It's one of the greatest things ever, entrepreneurship. I think it's clearly the backbone of our country. It's what this country was built on, small business. I'm not going to go off on a tangent here. But it is not for everybody, and I don't want people watching this, I don't want study coordinators or CRAs who are watching this to want to quit their jobs and go open up their own sites, because it's not for everybody, right? I do teleconference after teleconference after teleconference. If you follow me on Snapchat, you'll see I post some of these things where I deal with potential clients or people who are thinking about starting their own sites. And most of the time, my job is to scare them away from doing it, because it's not for everybody, right? If you think it's going to be easy, it's not. If you think that you're going to be working less because you get to choose your own hours rather than working for someone else where you have to check in from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 6, you're going to be working a lot more than 9 to 5 or 8 to 6. You're going to be working 24/7, 365, all right, until you can automate and build systems and then hire people. But you can't hire people, especially when you're a startup, because you don't have profits. And you don't have profits because you don't have studies and you don't have revenues coming in. So, not for everybody, but definitely if you know you have what it takes, again, clearly this person does, go for it. Now, their question was, how do they pay a PI? So first you need to find the PI. So if you're thinking of getting one of the PIs that you're currently working with, you're off to a great start. If you don't have a PI, you need to get one ASAP. I don't know how you're going to do that, but find one first and then worry about paying them. Once you find a PI, you can start applying for studies. Once you get a study, once you get a feasibility survey, you need to sit down with the PI, not only to get their assessment for the feasibility and to figure out exactly what kind of numbers to put on the feasibility survey when it comes to patient enrollment numbers. You need to discuss and have a frank conversation with them about payments. So they got to understand you're a startup. You can give them two options, right? One is more favorable for you, the other more favorable for them. Choose whichever option you want to go with. I'm just going to lay them all out here for you. So the first one is you pay fee for service. So when you get a protocol and you negotiate a budget, you look at only the assessments that are absolutely mandatory for the PI to conduct, and you see what the budget gives you, what the budget allots for that particular assessment. So the PI might get $300 for doing a particular rating scale, they might get $150 for doing the informed consent with the patient, and they might get another $200 to review labs, right? That's, I don't know, $650, that's about $850, okay, per visit. Not bad, not bad. I mean, depending on what you're getting for that entire visit, it may be good or bad. If you're only getting $850 for that visit, it's clearly not good. But if that's just a small percentage of what you're getting, then it's good for you, okay? But this is also good for the PI because they don't have to wait until you get paid, which is the other option you can do, which is a percentage of gross revenues from each study that he or she's the PI of. So I always recommend negotiate anywhere between 8 to 12% of the gross revenues. That means whatever check a sponsor XYZ sends you for a study, as you get these payments from the sponsor, you make a copy of the check, you handwrite a check or type it up, however you do it, for 8%, 10%, 12% of that amount, and you give it to the PI and you be transparent about it. That's not as good for the site. That's good for the site early on in the early startup stages because you don't have any money coming out of your pocket until you get paid from the sponsors. But that's not so good for the site when you have lots of studies going on and lots of payments coming in, and the checks that you're giving the PI are way greater in value, are far greater in value than what the PI is actually providing as far as services for you. Okay, so it's a trade-off. You can either go fee for service, you can go percentage. Some sites like to do salary, a monthly salary, so you negotiate. So there's actually 3 options. So monthly salary is a third option. I always choose one or the other. I've always done percentage, but initially I've started with percentage and then moved on to fee for service. There's some sites that do it the opposite way, which is actually more favorable for the PI, which would be fee for service initially and then percentage later, which, you know, the PI would obviously be more in favor for that because he gets the payments up front, and then once the studies come rolling in and the momentum builds up, he's getting a percentage. They're literally getting the best of both worlds under that scenario. I've also done monthly stipends. Those are okay depending if you have an agreement that the PI is still going to be fulfilling their responsibilities as far as meeting with the monitors, referring patients. It's a good way to save money as opposed to paying a percentage of the gross revenues once you have a couple studies, once you're established. So those are the 3 options. What I would recommend you do is percentage first, so negotiate some kind of percentage and either keep that the entire way, or percentage and then like at month 6 or month 8 switch them to a monthly salary, provided that you have enough studies, or instead of switching them to a monthly salary, switch them to a fee for service, right? Yeah, so that's my advice to you. Congratulations, good luck. Let me know if you need help. I do consulting. 949-415-6256. See you guys at Scope, right? Booth number 806, Intralinks. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.